Welcome to this bite-sized video for the Digital Business Services T-Level, where we'll explore Task 3 for the Data Technician Employer Set Project. The Employer Set Project, or ESP, consists of a series of tasks designed to assess the 5 assessment objectives shown. And this skills assessment is set and marked by NCFE and is conducted during a 2-week assessment window, which is available during the summer and autumn terms. And the tasks are designed to replicate the real-life industry experience, and we used employer and industry experts when developing the ESP to help achieve this. This video will focus on Task 3, where students produce a presentation of their findings. And it will be assessing assessment objectives 2, 3, and 4, with AO4 having marks for students demonstrating their English skills and digital skills. Task 3 occurs during the second assessment week, and this is scheduled by you, the provider, during the window stipulated by NCFE, and this can be found in our key date schedule. This is a supervised session lasting 3 hours with an additional 15-minute rest break permitted. And if students have any access arrangements or reasonable adjustments, such as additional time, then you should apply that internally and increase the task time by the relevant amount. The assessment materials should only be available to students during the scheduled sessions, so do take account of this and ensure you have secure storage areas for the students' work. Internet access is permitted for limited purposes, such as accessing online resources to create their data visualizations and digital slides, with a copy of the student's browsing history also being submitted. You must ensure that privacy mode has been disabled and policies applied to prevent students from deleting their browsing history. And if a student misses the scheduled Task 3 session, then you can rearrange a new session within that assessment window, but before they sit Task 4. This task is worth 22 marks in total, with 6 of those marks being for the demonstration of English and digital skills. And students are presented with a task to produce a presentation to communicate their findings and recommendations following their data analysis in Task 2B. And students will be issued with all the data sets used in Task 2B and will create digital slides intended for a non-technical audience. The digital slides will explain and evaluate the role of data analytics in the business context detailed in the brief, supported by visualizations of the data. It should also explain the impact on both internal and external stakeholders and explain any potential risks for the business. Shown on screen are the highest band marking descriptors for this task, including the descriptors for the English and math skills elements. But before students begin producing the presentation, it's important to keep in mind who the audience is, as students will need to choose suitable language and terminology for a non-technical audience. And the audience will also need to know what data analytics is and how it helps their organization, so students will need to explain its application, with suitable visualizations included, such as graphs, tables, dashboards, charts, infographics, or other formats for the data type and for the audience it's being presented to. And these visualizations are used to support students' justifications for their recommendations and factors that can impact on the client's aims. And considering the client, their needs, and making sure the presentation is relevant to the brief is of the utmost importance. To ensure all the relevant elements are addressed in the presentation, some tips for students can be to include clear sections or contents within their presentation, beginning with an introduction, where students should restate the aims of the business, as the entire purpose of this project is to support the client's needs, and restating this can help to keep the aims in the forefront of students' minds. And this introduction can include information about data analytics and how it can be applied and help meet the client's goals. Followed by an overview of their actual analysis and findings, with justifications given for their approach and choice of visualizations. And students may need to include some contextualized examples to aid their communication with a non-technical audience, and what conclusions they could draw from their analysis. This can then be followed up with a section about turning those data conclusions into recommendations for the client and justifying those recommendations, and any impact for different stakeholders, including both internal and external stakeholders, such as customers. And then any risks to this plan, or factors that could affect its implementation, or key changes that could occur that might drive change. And how likely are these risks? And is there any way to reduce the likelihood? So the mitigations needed. And this can include data protection and security issues too, depending on the needs of the client and the relevance to the information in the brief. Then a final summary, just to highlight those key recommendations and potential issues or considerations for the business to be aware of. We hope you found this useful and have a better understanding of Task 3, and do see our other bite-sized videos that form part of this Employer Set project series. Thank you.